today's video. No endorsements, no sponsorship, no money's changed hands, but the paint I'm testing, Isomat. Is it any good? I'll give you an honest opinion. So stay tuned, keep watching, because this video will show you the primer undercoat, the gloss, the satin or the eggshell. So if you want to know what this paint's actually like, Phil Beckwith, the professional painter and decorator, is product testing it. Welcome, chillins, painters and decorators of the interweb, DIYers, ordinary house painters, amateurs, don't matter. If you're watching this channel, you may be watching this channel because you're interested in the content that I'm supplying you. Well, let's hope so. More people that watch my videos, the closer those little pennies add up to me getting that Porsche. Say no more on that. Looking for sponsorship from Porsche, aren't I? Yeah. Can I get a roof rack on a Porsche? Enough said. Right, today, the call to arms has been received. Is that a saying? I don't know. Right, last few videos, if you notice over the last few weeks, I've been doing testing of paint. Been doing testing of water-based paints, mainly glosses. They've all been glosses, to see which is the actual best water-based gloss out there today. We've done the brush killer, we've done the paints that spray nicely, we've done the Ticarilla Everall 80. Spray's great, not so good when it comes to brushing it. You want to see that video? It's there. Well, I'll actually do the link there for all the testing of the paints, so you can see the Jono's Aqua Gloss, the Aqua System Gloss. It's very good. We've also got the Bedek, the Aqua Advanced, another good paint. They'll all be in that playlist there. Have a look at them, catch up. But I've been saying on all of those videos, if there's another manufacturer out there that's got a better paint, please get in touch with me. Well, I speak and I've been heard. Now, the UK distributor for, I'll do the duh-duh-duh, but the duh-duh-duh goes for Doris the door. Right, UK distributor for Isomat. Is it Isomat or is it Isomat? Don't matter, pronounce it however you want. Right, UK distributor can't even say it. The UK distributor for Isomat has been in touch with me to say he's seen the videos that I've done on testing paint, and he said, I've heard you say that you want to try other paints out. And I have. I've been asking, is there another paint out there that's better? Well, I'm going to say better than the Jono's Aqua System water-based gloss. Yeah, the brush killer. But anyway, it's been really good. He's sent me a few messages, been in touch with me, and he says, Phil, like your channel, like what you're doing. I'm going to send some of our products that we've got, and they're not the manufacturer, they are the distributor. So they don't manufacture the paint, they're distributing and supplying it around the UK. Now, Isolac Aqua is a water-based paint. Now, they do an undercoat and they do a gloss. So today what I'm going to be doing is testing the undercoat on Doris the door, and you've seen on a previous video I'll do it there, where I actually prepped that door and sprayed it with Zinsser Coat exterior in black, satin black, because I knew I'd got videos coming up where I wanted to test white paint over dark surfaces and seeing how good the gloss is, because my previous videos have been testing it over a dark blue, and we're seeing that we probably need an extra coat, which was totally understandable, but it gives you a good comparison of what the paints are like going over a dark colour. If you've got lighter colours than any of these, you're not going to be any problem covering. Now, we all know, I'm going to say we all know, not everybody does know, your water-based paints, particularly the ones that have been testing, need the undercoat and we always say hand in glove, keep with the undercoat that you're using for the paint that you're finishing with. Go with hand in glove, use the undercoat and then the top coat that all match. Now we all know, and I'm saying we all know, it's one undercoat with two top coats. Right, doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you need a primer coat. Now sometimes that primer coat needs to be a grip primer coat. Now don't be put off by using a different brand of grip primer coat and then finishing with a different brand of undercoat then top coat. And my example would be, sometimes I do jobs where I'm going over surfaces that are previously oil based, and I like to give a grip coat prior to doing any undercoats and finishing coats. Now my grip coats can be Tikkurila Otex Aqua, that's a good grip coat, or even Zinza 123. Now once you've got that primer coat on, then you can work over that with the undercoat with the top coats. Don't try and miss out that undercoat, because it's the undercoats that are the base to give a sound surface for the top coats that go over it. Do you understand that? I know if you're using Tikkurila and you're not using, let's call it Helmi, Tikkurila. If I've got a finished surface that's going to be Helmi 30, right? You can get away with using Tikkurila Otex Aqua, which is the water-based grip coat primer, as the primer and the undercoat, then finish with Helmi whatever you want, Helmi 30, Helmi 80, that's up to you. But particularly when you're using different brands of paint, if you're using a primer coat that's a grip coat, get the right one for you, because I mean, I'm just thinking of products that Farrow & Ball don't do a grip coat, but they do an undercoat. Now if you need a grip coat, use a grip coat that's good, 123, 123 plus, Otex Aqua, anything like that. Then put the correct undercoats for your top coats. Let's move on from that. So where I am, I've been sent 4 cans of paint. Been very lucky. Over my shoulder there is the primer stroke undercoat. I've got the gloss. I've got down here, I've got an eggshell, which is like a flat finish, and I've also got a satin finish, which is great. So over the next few weeks we're going to be testing out the eggshell and the satin finish on Doris the door, but for now we're not doing those, we're doing the gloss. I'm going to coat the door up, top to bottom, all of the door, and then I'm going to do a section of it in the gloss, and the section that will be glossed will have 2 coats. So 1 coat over the black, we'll see what it covers like, then 2 coats of this over the undercoat and we'll see what it covers like we've done with the other videos. So let's talk about Isomat. Who are they? What do they do? Well, basically Isomat, I've seen the signs when I've been on holiday to Zante. Why's that? Well, I can tell you why. Because it's actually a Greek manufacturer who started out in the building, started life out. Well, let's put that on my shoulder. Right, I can't hold it up while I'm talking to you. Like carrying a sack of potatoes. Right, they started out life in the building additives, and they now supply building products such as waterproof coatings, additives, render systems, marker cement, as well as paints and repair materials. I think they know what they're doing. And the other thing is, they distribute to 8 countries worldwide. You'd think that would be ICI, wouldn't you? And PPG and stuff like that. Not a little company like this, 80 countries around the world. Right, let's talk about the paints. This Isolac Aqua system, it's fully water-based, which is what we want. We like a water-based product, and it's acrylic enamel, which is both flexible and durable and can be used inside and outside. We want brush, spray, roller application. We don't want a dedicated brushing product, do we? We want one that, oh, my shoulder's killing me. We want one that can be done by any means, particularly when you're in the painting and decorating trade and you're using sprayers, HVLPs. I'm talking about this paint. Right, the other good thing about it is it's certified and it's safe for toys. So if you're doing any I don't know, flipping of furniture products and stuff like that, you can be rest assured that it's safe to put on toy boxes, furniture, I don't know, babies' cots. It's also has an A+, is it they call it a Eurofins emission certificate as well, so it passes all that. What I do know about this product is, because people have been telling me about it, you've got to get used to it. It's not one of these products that you're just going to get straight out the can and go, wow, brilliant. There may be a little bit of thinning required, and as I've always said, add a little bit of water to taste. But try it before you start adding too much water. What you've got to be doing is give it a good mix up. Depending on your surface that you're going over, I'll have to put this down. Depending on the surface you're going over, it depends whether you want to thin it or not. Sometimes you might not want to thin it. Also depending on your weather. If it's warm, you'll probably find it goes on a lot easier, like a lot of other paint. There's a recommended system, and it's 1 undercoat with 2 top coats. Again, gauge it, see what you think. If you need 2 undercoats on because you're covering a black door, give it 2 undercoats. That would be my advice. Stuff like MDF, prime it twice, just get that build up on it. It's all the usual stuff you know about all the other paints. It's not going to be something that's going to obliterate that black. I'm not expecting it to obliterate the black, but what I want to see is how it does cover over the black, and then how it covers with 1 gloss and then a 2nd gloss. And the same will apply for when I do the testing of the video for the eggshell and the satin finish. We'll do that on other videos. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give that door a little bit of a nib down, just give it a light rub. It's a satin finish, so quite possibly it might sis, I'm not sure. This is a brand new paint to me, never used it before. I've not even opened the tins to smell it. So again, bear with me. Let me get a tin open of the undercoat. I'm going to work out the tin. I don't think I've got a paint kettle here. I'm going to work out the tin and I'm going to paint all that door. When I paint all that door, I'll fast forward it for you and we'll have a quick look at it, see what it covers like. Then we'll do a 1 coat of gloss, then a 2nd coat of gloss when that's dry. When the undercoat's dry. Right, what? Drying times? Probably half an hour to an hour. Use your common sense. But I know curing times, what, 30 days? Proper curing times, 30 days, probably be your best thing. Yeah, 30 days. So don't try and do scratch testing after a couple of days and go, oh, it comes off. 30 days is your proper curing time. Right, I'm going to crack on. Right, you've just seen me rub down the door, just give it a light nib. Just got a microfiber cloth, just got any last dust that's in the air floating about. Duster brush, microfiber cloth, should be fine. Right, this is the Isolac Aqua Primer. And as it says, something, well, I don't know, it's all Greek to me, that is. But I know that it says acrylic water-based primer underneath. Always read the back of the tin. Can't read that, it's all Greek. Literally, it's all Greek. Never mind. Right, as per previous tests, I've got a Wicks brush. It's the same Wicks brush I've used for all the other videos, using water-based paints, water-based gloss, the undercoats. And I'm going to do exactly the same. Coat up, paint the door properly, please. Mouldings, panel. Bring all the mouldings and panels down. Then bring the mullions, the top rails. You'll see how I'm doing it. If you want a video on how to paint a door, one just there. Right, I'm going to crack on. So I'm going to smile at you, and the next thing you'll see me is me doing the Benny Hill painting a door. You've just seen how Pro paints the door properly. Right, first impressions that going on. You can tell that's a lovely acrylic product. Dries off quite quick and it starts pulling. But can you see that? Let's see if we can zoom in. To say that's going over black satin, that's not a bad first coat. So focus on there. It's not a bad first coat. Just a little bit of word of warning. Just be mindful of your lids, your paint cans. Sorry, look, handles might come out, so don't work out the tin. It's a bit of a bad design, I think, that one. But no, first impressions. Ooh, look a bit close, look a bit old. First impressions, not bad. You know what I'm like, I call a spade, a shovel's a shovel. If I don't like it, I'll tell you. But so far, that's gone on quite nicely. Brushed on beautifully. That could be the fact that I was going over a satin finish, so it glided nicely. But on the whole, first impressions not bad. I'm going to wash that brush out. I'm going to crack on with another video that I'm on with at this moment in time and come back in about an hour or so, and I'll tape a bit off and we'll get some gloss going. But yeah, liking it so far. We're back on it, Batman. We're now on to the gloss. Give it a good mix up. It had settled, so you got the bits of the resins on top, so give it a good mix up with your mixing stick. Not a stick. Use a proper piece of wood that's a mixing stick. Can't mix paint with something cylindrical. It's aerodynamic, don't mix the paint properly. Right, that's dry. So that's been an hour or so, wherever. It's warm, sun's on it. Doing a quick scratch test, that's not coming off. Now I've sectioned off this, you see there, got me Tesla tape. Tesla tape. We're keeping that section there as primer, undercoat, and we're going to now gloss this middle section. Then when that's dry, we'll tape it up and we'll do the last section as the second coat of gloss. So I'm going to get on with it. Right, observations. As I said earlier, I've mixed up the tin. I'm using it straight out the tin. It's no water added, and I'm just applying it straight over that undercoat that again also didn't have any water added to it. That didn't go on too bad. Well, it probably glided nicely because it was on a satin finish. But this, I would say it just pulls slightly. Now, laying off, let's put it this way, I won't want to be doing a flush door. Whether that means I just want to put a bit of water to it if I was doing a flush door, or be doing it with, I'll say a roller, it might be better sprayed if you're doing a flush door. We'll come on to that on another one, can't we? But no, it does pull slightly. Coverage, I'd say, it's not bad. We are going to extreme because we've had a black door to work over, and this is the testing that I'm doing. We're doing an extreme black door, seeing what it covers like with one undercoat with two top coats of the gloss, or let's call it the finished product paint. Now that is your first gloss. What's it looking like? It's not looking too bad. How does it compare against the Jono's? I'd still say the Jono's covers better, but this isn't an opacity test. We want to see what the best gloss is. Because I'd say 9 times out of 10, us as decorators, domestic, private decorators, or if you're in the, I don't know, trade, commercial trade, you're probably only going over magnolias, whites that have been previously oil-based and it's gone yellow. So you want to get a water-based paint that can obliterate that. and bring you up to a white finish. Now this is a very good white finish. It pulls. I've said that, it's pulling when I'm putting it on. Can I get around that? Possibly. I could do a splash of water, but for now I'm keeping it straight out the tin. It's a warm day. It's not 42 degrees like I've said on previous videos. We've had 42 degrees in the UK recently, so it's not too hot, but it's a nice sunny day. The paint's, I call it room temperature, outside room temperature, but that's not gone on too bad. And back of my hand, it's dry already. I'm going to give it about an hour. I'll come back to it. I know drying times can vary. You might want to leave it next day for coating up for a second coat. It's up to you. But so far, so good. Not too bad. I think it's one of these ones. Have a play with it. Have a practice with it, and get into it. Don't take. Let's put it out there. I won't say this as a paint for the amateur, which is probably good, because it means that a pro who knows how to paint a door properly, doesn't need to watch Phil Beckwith painting a door correctly with the correct process. A pro would probably say this is good, because so far that gloss is pretty impressive. But let's see what it's like for the second one. See you in a little while. So here we are, we're on the last lap. Final coat of the gloss, the second coat of the gloss. It's dried nicely. I have to say, it's not got a bad sheen. I'd say it's only had one over the undercoat. Another thing, I'm impressed how this paint washes out. You know, with it being a proper, it's not a hybrid, it's a proper acrylic. And this brush, it's only the Wicks brush, I've told you before. Inch and a half and a 2-inch in a pack from Wicks. What, £11? Might get you discount if you got a 10% trade card, but not a bad brush. Yeah, are there better brushes on the market to use for doing finishing for the standard we want to be working to? Of course there is. I mean, I'm just looking over there in my garage. I've got a load of arrow-worthy brushes. Brilliant brushes for water-based paint. Obviously, you've seen the video about the brush killer. If you've not seen the brush killer video, please watch that. But no, we've done a cheap brush like anybody could buy from a DIY place, Wicks, sells to the trade as well. But no, we're going to give a second coat of the gloss on there and let's see how it goes. So fingers crossed. Well everybody, let's give it a bit of a roundup on this. I'm impressed with it. I'm not blown away. What do I think of it? Let's just say, have I tried to do it too quick all in the same day? Quite possibly. Did it go on alright? Yeah, it pulled a little bit like I mentioned in the first sections there when I did the first coat of gloss, second coat of gloss. It pulled slightly. Splash of water in it, would that help? Quite possibly. So let's not write it off because of that. Gloss wise, what do I think of the gloss? The gloss isn't bad. What? Is it as good as the Jono's gloss? I think we all at the moment are saying Jono's gloss is brilliant, but it's a hybrid, so we can't, it's apples and pears. We've got a hybrid or we've got an acrylic proper paint. Proper paint, they're all proper paints. This isn't a hybrid. This hasn't got all them mixes of oil and resins and everything to make it glossy and selling you into a false sense of security that you're actually putting on a water-based paint and the brush killer. This is a proper acrylic. How good a gloss is it? Yeah, that's not a bad gloss at all. How does it compare against the well, Everol Aqua 80. Well, it's a lot better than that. What's it like against the Bedeck? Well, the Bedeck and everything else is on the other side of the door. I know what that's like. It's not a bad gloss. I would say it's on a par, if not a little bit better. Where I would say it's winning is how white it is. That's a good selling point. It's white. Now, you can't see what I can see. This is just grinning on these mouldings, and this is why I'm doing a test on a panel door, because you've got mouldings. It's not a flat door. You've got the brush. Well, it's not the brush. You've got the brush marks. It's not brush marks, but it's the grain of the wood of the door. You know, the textured wood. You can just see through it slightly. It's a little bit grinny, as we say in the trade. It's a little bit grinny. Now that's going to be grinny because we did the first coat for the base of the door was black. So I'm going to let it off for that, because if we were doing what I said earlier, going over whites, going over off-whites, that's going to cover. I've no apprehensions with that. That's covering. But gloss, because we want to know what is a good, proper water-based gloss that isn't a resin-based hybrid like the Jonos and like some of the other ones are. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Don't dismiss it. Right, a big factor. What's the cost? Somebody said on one of the videos the other week, what's the cost of all these paints? Right, let's start with that Everol Aqua. Everol Aqua 80. That's the gloss. Right, a 2.7 litre tin. What we're looking at with VAT, you're roughly around about 55 quid. The Bedeck that we used, Bedeck Aqua Advanced, the gloss, what's that? 2.5 litre tin, £52. You get around about 50 quid. So we're still looking all around about that 50 quid mark. Right, Jonos, 2.5 litre tin. Currently, if you look on the Paintwell website, 2.5 litre tin, you're just shy of £25. It's half the price. I can hear you. What we're paying, what would we be paying for, what's this? The gloss. Brilliant as it is, what we're paying for it, you're just probably under 50 quid. What is it? Is this a 2.5 again? Nice tins, just watch the handles don't pop out on you. You're looking under 50 quid. So those three that we tested previously range from 25 quid to the 50, and what we're testing here is just under 50. Now, the disparity, is that a word? Disparity? Yeah, the difference, I don't know. The difference in paint, when you start looking at double the price for a paint, it's bit of taste. What's the saying on that one? Bit of pill to take, or bit of pill. It's a bit. Oh, can't even say it. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But if we're looking at the other brands of paint, which are more acrylic based, you're looking at about 50 quid. 2.5 litre tins, 50 quid. The more you buy, the cheaper you will get it. Whereas a paint, I'm not dismissing it. I'm going to use it on future jobs because I think it's actually a very nice finish. That you'd put your hand over that. It's dry. It feels like gloss. Feels like a proper oil-based gloss. Yeah, it's a bit grinny in these corners, but we did go over black. So, as I said at the very beginning, this isn't sponsored. There's no endorsements. No money's changed hands. This is a sheer product test from somebody, i.e. the rep, the distributor for Isomat, that's gave a shout out to me and says, Phil, you want to try our products and see what you think. So I'm giving an honest opinion as a painter and decorator. Is it the best gloss? You tell me, give us some comments. To be fair, we've gone over black. What's it like spraying? I'm going to try this, spraying it. That'll be a future video. I'll see what it's like for spraying. Probably want diluting to taste, like I always say, dilute to taste with a bit of water to make it spray. But as a gloss paint, for a general, and I'm pointing, Dave, Simon, Ray, Ordinary Painter and Decorator for brushing a paint. What's this like? It's pretty good. I think you'd be impressed. Don't forget, 1 undercoat, 2 finish. And on that note, I'm going to say over and out. I'll stand to the side. There you go. Have you got a video there and a video there you can follow on with? Quite possibly. Thanks for supporting the channel. I'm a long way off getting that Porsche, but I like to mention the word Porsche. I can even spell it now. I've written it down that many times. I can even spell Porsche. There's an S in it and a C in it and an H in it, and they're all the wrong way around. For somebody dyslexic, Porsche isn't an easy word to spell, but I'm learning how to spell Porsche. Thanks very much for listening. See you on the next one.